Hello again, and welcome to iPulse Live. I'm Clifton Haskin.
And I'm Joe Nicole. We begin our broadcast with a story about the Lynn University fashion show, which took place at the end of February. Our reporter Allison Wallace was there.
Today I am at LFS, Lynn Fashion Showcase. Lynn University has been hosting fast shows for over the past 20 years and they have been very successful. At the event, I interviewed designers, models, and Lynn faculty about what their roles are and how they contributed to the event.
My favorite part about the event is the collaboration. We've got students from the College of Business, College of Communication and Design, hospitality program, fashion program, all working together. Our production staff is much from upstairs, Cesar Santelo's group.
You know, each show is different, but I think what we try to bring to Lynn University is to always make it bigger and better every year. One of the things that Dr. Katrina Carter Tellison really wanted was us to reach out to the community, and when I mean community, the South Florida community.
I think it was just the collaboration of all the students. I think it was all of them working together collectively for a common goal. And I think when students come together, when they put their best into it, I think we create magic together.
So I reached out to a very close friend and colleague of mine, Marcus Ortega, who works at Miami-Dade College. When I asked him about what he thought the idea was of maybe bringing in Miami-Dade College as a partner, he was ecstatic.
When Lynn reached out to you, what was your reaction?
Well, I was very excited. First of all, I've heard of Lynn and all the different things that have happened here. I looked into the program. I talked to Mr. Santalo about the fashion merchandising program here. And I thought it was a great opportunity to have our design students come and just attend.
Actually, I think it's the collaboration with Miami-Dade. I think bringing those designers in, I think it helped infuse us. I think it helped create energy, and I think it helped to build a synergy between our students and theirs.
I talked to designers from all varieties about how they express their individual creativity for this year's show.
It's complicated. You gotta know a lot of patterns, you gotta know what you're trying to do, you gotta know who you're trying to target, the audience you're trying to target.
Fashion is not like math. There's no right and wrong answer. It's basically what the professor prefers.
Were your expectations met tonight with the models representing your creativity?
Of course, I think Kiara opening up the show was like amazing. My expectations were blown away. I think the show was amazing. They all killed it, even though they're all student models.
This was a very special show because of all the breathtaking designs that were shown off by our talented models. It is currently pre-show. What is one word to describe how are you feeling right now?
I'll say excitement and nervousness. I'm very nervous. It's my first show, but we're excited.
I'm looking forward to actually modeling. I was in the class last year and I was a stylist, so having the opportunity to walk on the runway is really exciting.
I'm actually really excited, to be honest. Like, I can't wait. Like, I mean, a little jittery, but like good nerves, you know what I mean? Because I'm modeling in the show and I'm really excited.
What does fashion mean to you?
Fashion means a lot to me, creativity, and also making you feel good about yourself.
The models did a fantastic job expressing the theme for this year's event, Evolution of Expression.
I feel that each designer was able to capture the evolution, not only of fashion, but self-expression when it comes to men and women's fashions.
This year's fashion show could have not been possible without our backstage crew, who managed lights, camera, and the action.
One of the major parts of this fashion show is that it has been really innovative. It has really like this kind of creative side of things. You know, last year was like kind of like the first time we did it in this floor in the library, so it was kind of like I feel like a test, you know. And we went kind of like old-fashioned, right? But this year we went all out. You know, it's about the evolution of expressions.
Among those that attended the show, there were many special guests within the audience. I spoke to Christine Lynn about how she felt to be at the event.
Well, I'm very proud to be here tonight because the library carries the Lynn family name, and we are so pleased to know that there's so many wonderful young people that benefit from this wonderful facility, and not only the facility, but fantastic school.
And what are you most looking forward to tonight?
I'm looking forward to see the fashions and see what's up, because I'm an old woman, and the younger generation has a little different look, and sometimes I can't wear it because it's either too low or belly button showing or something else. But I'm looking forward to see what creative designs that the students have performed in creating these creations tonight.
Overall, the fashion show was a huge success. All the models looked perfect in their unique designs made by our own creative designers, as well as our special guests from Miami-Dade College. See you on the runway next year. Reporting for iPulse News, this has been Allison Wallace.
In international news, the Ukraine war is well into its second year. Ukraine has regained some of the land they had lost, but that has added another problem. As Ari Davis reports, Ukrainian soldiers are now having to clear unexploded mines and grenades that the Russians have left.
The heavily armored mine clear slowly weaves into an open field. The 40-ton-plus beast expels exhaust, its tracks trying its best across the muddy ground. Following relatively close behind is the mine clearing team, called sappers. They move up deliberately on the hunt for deadly explosives. This is fragile work.
This was a Russian position, Russian trenches, and now these guys are working through here carefully, methodically, looking for mines, for booby traps, and even Ukrainian ordnance that was fired at the Russians who were here.
A Ukrainian counteroffensive team pushed Russian forces out of these trenches last September. Now Colonel Maxim Milnik's unit has been given the job of clearing explosives. They have left many traps behind, and so many of our brothers, our sappers, have died, Milnik says. Russia doesn't obey international conventions. They put mines on top of mines, leave booby traps, and use banned mines. Russian and Ukrainian mines are scattered throughout the Eastern Front, making Ukraine one of the biggest minefields in the world. Rockets and other explosives can often fail to detonate when they land too, all of it posing immense danger to civilians. The sappers of Ukraine's DSNS emergency service, like Edward Herashemenko, who's a father of a 10-year-old daughter, are keenly aware of the danger. It's dangerous for everybody, he says. I wouldn't say we take more risks than others. Everybody's taking risks now. Herashemenko was removing mines before the war. Seeing what Russia has done to his country angers him. They are just animals, he says. There's no other way to describe them. Herashemenko finds and carries a dud of a rocket-propelled grenade out of the way. Working day after day all across Ukraine, deminers know how much needs to be done. This is Ari Davis reporting.
In national news, the state of Ohio has filed a lawsuit against railroad operator Norfolk Southern to make sure it pays for the cleanup and environmental damage caused by the train derailment last month. As Alyssa Keating reports, the federal government has also placed the railroad on notice.
The Environmental Protection Agency is forcing Norfolk Southern to pay for damages caused from a train derailment in East Palestine, Ohio. This derailment caused toxic chemicals to be released through the town, compromising its soil and water. This has caused small fires, which has been producing a black smoke that is covering the town. I've spoken to Cameron Betts, a wire manufacturer, to hear his thoughts.
100%, this is an avoidable situation. Like, this shouldn't have even have happened.
During a press conference, Ohio Governor Mike DeWine was surprised when he found out that train companies do not have to notify local governments about hazardous chemicals on board going through their towns.
Better regulations with the transportation industry. Like, our infrastructure is so old, it hasn't been updated since like the 60s, so problems are going to come up until we decide to fix it.
This community is now facing health problems as officials try to convince them that the air and water is clean. During the cleaning process of the town, the train company is now required to identify and clean all contaminated soil. This could take anywhere from days to weeks to accomplish.
I think it's a two-part mess up. I think it's the company whose train derailed that should also be participating in the cleanup as well as the government, because the derailment was caused by a problem that shouldn't have happened because it was using 19th century style technology, which shouldn't be a thing.
There is now a clinic open to help those who have been affected by this event to ensure they are healthy. I'm Elisa Keating for iPulse.
A California mother has filed a federal civil rights lawsuit against the El Dorado Unified High School District in Placerville, California. She charges her daughter was subject to racially motivated verbal and physical attacks. The lawsuit alleges the district knew and failed to take action. As Chelsea Morin reports, the district has denied the charges.
Respect and acceptance. Those are just some of the words painted outside El Dorado High School in Placerville. But this 16-year-old who wants to be identified as SL says her experience as a student here was anything but welcoming.
They pulled my jacket, my hair, they put me in a chokehold.
Her mom, Ashley Lewis, says this is just one of the many instances of racism and discrimination her daughter has endured at the hands of students over the last several years.
And they told her if you see the bullies to run, scream for help, or find an adult. That was their solution. Not to deal with the bullies, but to further victimize my child into telling her, when you see them, just run.
Lewis says employees of the district failed to protect her daughter, despite of various warnings about the abuse on and off campus.
She's been followed home from the bus stop by their 30-year-old brother, called the N-word the whole way home, to where I had to buy her mace.
Lewis filed a federal civil rights lawsuit last month alleging her daughter was brutally and repeatedly attacked, beaten, and harassed based on her sexual orientation and African American race. In a statement to KCRA, the El Dorado Union High School District responded in part saying, quote, "These allegations are untrue." It goes to say that the El Dorado Union High School District is committed to providing equal opportunities for all individuals. The teen hopes the school district is held accountable.
It's not just all about me, it's about all the other kids that go here and tell me the things that they go through.
I'm Chelsea Morin with iPulse.
Every year, a youth state wrestling tournament takes place in Maine. This year, something different happened. The winner was a girl. She won in under 2 minutes as the only girl on her entire team. Here's more. Here is all 106 pounds of a junior at Oceanside High School in Rockland, Maine. Maddie is the only girl on the wrestling team and the only girl to win an individual state title in Maine while wrestling a boy. She won the state title in 1 minute and 44 seconds. She pinned her opponent, Nick Allen. How did she do it?
His arm over his head and then put him on his back like a chicken wing. It's like we have an arm like this and I just walked around the head.
How exciting that win must have been. She jumped into the arms of her coach to celebrate.
Felt really good. Didn't feel real. I was like just blown away.
Maddie had something to prove by winning her championship title.
That anyone can do it if you put the work in. And I mean, I started young. I didn't miss a practice. You just gotta dedicate yourself.
I'm Clifton Haskin for iPulse.
In Lynn news, President's Day brought a special opportunity for students to decompress while taking the day off. Chelsea Morin reports students found it a great help.
Here at Lynn University on President's Day in Christine's Park, there was an event to help youth distress. This event was called Smash the Stress. This event was an opportunity to let students write down their feelings or maybe something that has been stressing them out on a plate. And then they throw that plate into a mobile rage room. A transfer student named Tate shared her experience on this event.
I think that it was very well planned and that it is fantastic. I would absolutely recommend it and I think everybody should enjoy it.
After you throw your plate, they had some delicious pizza to finish off with. All you had to do was sign a waiver, put on a mask so they can protect your eyes, and then smash the plate as hard as you want. This event on campus was a great way for students to have the opportunity to express themselves and just let it out as it was a day off from classes. Students at the event felt like they got to decompress and feel like they really did get to release some stress.
Absolutely, I think so. It was a great stress reliever and it was amazing overall.
This was just one of the many events Lynn does that is fun and enjoyable for them. This is Chelsea Morin with iPulse.
Yes, you can run, and yes, you can swim, but can you fly? Well, at Lynn University, you can. And one of our reporters just did that. Here's Allison Wallace.
This is so cool. I love this. The view is crazy. I've been turning my eyes skywards all my life, so I knew I had to do this story. Programs include Associate of Applied Science Aviation, Bachelor of Science, Air Traffic Control, Aviation Management, Aviation Operations, Aviation Security, Master of Business Administration, and Aviation Management. Also, you can get certificates in Airline Transport Pilot, Certified Flight Instructor, Commercial Pilot, Professional Pilot, Instrument Rating, Private Pilot, and Recurrent Flight Training. And here's what not to do. Lynn University is an FAA-approved pilot school. Operations are conducted at the Boca Raton Municipal Airport, a 5-minute drive from the main campus. Certificates can be taken individually. Aviation students fly in from all over the world. Flight students must go through a rigorous ground school on navigation rules and regulation. Then it's on to the flight simulator, state-of-the-art training to fine-tune your flying skill.
Now, if you're seeing all blue, you're pulling back too far. If you're seeing brown, you're not pulling back enough. I'll talk you through it.
Okay.
All right?
And off we go.
My name is Alex. I'm a flight instructor at Lynn. I enjoy teaching students. It's always fun. Very nice crew, nice people, nice students.
What is the best part about flying?
It's flying.
Yeah, just the feeling of being in the air.
In the air, yes, of course. And another good feeling when your student does his first solo or her solo. That's very incredible, very nice feeling.
My first solo flight. How unique is this? Do you have what it takes to become a pilot? Hey, take a test flight. This may be your calling. For iPulse News, this has been Allison Wallace.
How does social media affect mental health? This is a recurring topic chosen by podcasting students here at Lynn. There are other controversial topics they take up, like the dark web. Professor Roberto Echeverria guides students through this new digital public square.
We must finally hold social media companies accountable for experimenting they're doing running children for profit.
At the heart of internet addiction is social media. A strong correlation has been established between mental health, quality of life, and the level of internet addiction. This is why podcast students at Lynn University take this topic head on.
I'm bad with social media. Like, I am on it 24/7.
Like, if I have a chance to go on my phone, like, that's what I'm doing. It's
No,
honestly
yeah.
so sad now that I'm saying it out loud.
No, it's so sad.
TikTok is, like, the worst.
Oh.
Like, before TikTok, like, I think I was, like, okay.
No, yeah.
Now that TikTok's a thing, like, I will sit there and scroll for hours. It's
No,
so
yeah.
easy. I don't even watch shows anymore.
I actually think I have a total of maybe, like, 7 hours a day on TikTok.
No, I probably do.
And I think I'm, like, just capping.
That's crazy.
No, it's bad. Because I'll just sit there. Like, when you're laying down in bed, like, you don't even realize that you're scrolling so much.
Uh-huh.
But
And then
now,
you check the time, and it's like, oh, my God, it's
no, yeah.
hours later.
Now I will say that, like, when I'm scrolling for too long, especially at night, there will be, like, an ad.
Oh, I've seen those, too.
There will literally be an ad where it's like, you've been scrolling for way too long. And
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, my God, like, you're so right. I'm going to bed.
Does the dark web actually exist? Yes, the dark web actually exists and is not a nice place to go. Any kind of illegal activity you can think of can be found on the dark web. This is why podcast students at Lee University take this topic head on.
The dark web exists on dark nets, which are networks that use the internet but must be accessed through specific software or authorizations. Common things on the dark web are stolen identities, including credit cards and social security, drugs, and even weapons. This is because sellers and buyers remain anonymous in transactions using the currency Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency that was created to operate free of government intervention. Jen, as somebody who works on the internet with Bitcoin, what are some misconceptions people have regarding Bitcoin and the dark web?
I mean, it's kind of like separate. Dark web and the cryptocurrency, they're gonna tie it in as like it's symbiotic. They live with each other. Like, just like it's a perfect scenario. If you're gonna buy something illegal or very wrong against the government, they want to like transact with an anonymous transaction, which is cryptocurrencies. Cryptocurrencies can do that as well. Like, very good. This is the iceberg, tip of the iceberg. This is the internet that we know and see, and like the bottom of it, the bottom of the pit is the dark web that we normal people don't see. All the drugs of society, all the criminal activities, it's all in there. And whatever they want to do with it, they're gonna do with it, and they're gonna be like getting all important and all, what do you, this word, like they're gonna do whatever it takes to get away from the government and like live freely under the shadows of society. That's what the dark web is.
Colleges and universities are trying to figure out how to handle the popular AI, ChatGPT. It has already been shown this program can pass the bar exam, even the medical boards. Some colleges are restructuring undergraduate courses. Others are taking preventative measures to stop students from using the program. But it may be that the cat is already out of the bag, as Onelia Wilson reports.
Allowing cars to drive themselves, composing songs that mimic popular artists, and producing award-winning art. This is all the work of artificial intelligence. Computers that don't just do what they are told, but in a sense think, learn, and create. The latest buzz in AI is ChatGPT, a chatbot creating stunningly humanoid writing. So how does it work? ChatGPT has been filled with a massive amount of information. Imagine the biggest library you can, then programmed and trained by humans to process and spit out information in conversational phrases. You can ask for 1,000 words on the early days of automobiles, or you can ask it to write a sonnet. It is not perfect, but it can debate, compose essays, solve math problems, write computer code, answer follow-up questions, and admit mistakes. Here is what college students think about this new AI.
It brings a lot of positive aspects to individuals, especially when it comes to writing or creating a new project. It also helps with inspiration. To a certain extent, you have to use it carefully, of course, because if you let it do all the work, the creativity side of it and self-inspiration won't show up.
It's a little dangerous because in the worst case scenario, it could take over, like, our jobs, have real consequences on future generations because you're just using AI, it can prevent you from learning.
ChatGPT has its advantages and disadvantages, and it can even list them if asked. It is still in its beta phase, but there is no doubt that it will have a massive impact in the future. I'm Onelia Wilson for iPulse News.
In Lynn sports, the Fighting Knights lacrosse team had a rough start to their season by losing their first game to the Newberry College Wolves. Now they seem to be on a winning streak. I covered the recent game of the lacrosse team against the Farmingdale State University Rams.
On February 26th, the Lynn University men's lacrosse team faced off against the Farmingdale State University Rams. The Fighting Knights went into this matchup in 6th place with a record of 1 win and 2 losses. The Fighting Knights won their most recent matchup against Flagler University by a score of 13-8. The Fighting Knights in white competed in 4 15-minute quarters. Lynn scored within seconds of the game and continued to break through the Rams' defense. The Fighting Knights continued their explosive offense in the first and second quarter to finish the first half ahead by 8-2. Lynn University had a slow start to the third and fourth quarter. The Rams quickly scored, but the Fighting Knights responded just minutes later, piling onto their lead while playing excellent defense and ending the game by a dominating score of 15-7.
It was awesome. It's nice for us. We got back to 2-2 today. We started off 0-2. A win yesterday and a win today are big for us. We had a lot of young guys step up, which is awesome. We had a tough game yesterday, so we needed to rely on our bench in depth today, which is really nice. We relied on them, and they worked out well.
I'm Clifton Haskin for iPulse.
In women's lacrosse, the team traveled from Boca Raton to Alabama to play their first 2 games of the season. Alabama was a state foreign to most of the players, which made for an interesting trip. Student Eleanor Bruce was part of that team and has this first-person report.
On Thursday, the 9th of February, Lynn Women's Lacrosse left home in Boca Raton to travel to Alabama to play their first 2 games of the 2023 season. They spent 4 days bonding as a team while staying in lake houses in a state that was apparently very foreign to them.
Off the field, I feel like the team chemistry was amazing. We have those inside jokes, those memories together that some teams don't exactly have when they don't have true friendship on their team.
I think our team has always been really close, but since living together for 4 days, everyone is now super, super close. And we made a lot more memories, and it was really great to see people not just on the lacrosse field.
What do you think about the state of Alabama?
Alabama is not what I was really expecting. I was expecting more like you get there and there's like sausage and grits and cheese like just laid out for you. Until we got to the IHOP and I saw a man with a rat tail and cargo camo shorts below the knee and holes in his shirt, and I was like, yeah, we made it.
There was a bunch of old people, and they all knew the waiters there. Just really set the tone that we were in Alabama. I love IHOP hash browns. I would die for them, so I was very happy to be there.
It was bare, and it was cold. Everyone really just wanted to get home from Alabama because nothing really good happened in Alabama. Nothing good came from Alabama, and I'm so glad to be back in Fort.
I hated it. It was miserable.
I think that we probably saw the worst part of Alabama. It was really gloomy.
It sure is a county road. This is unreal.
And kind of depressing. Everything was dead. There wasn't really any sense of life outside of us. There was a lot of horses, so that was fun.
Can you ever see yourself living in Alabama?
No. I wouldn't recommend it either to anybody.
I was thinking about this a lot at the trip, if I were to ever live here, if I would be content or not. And I think the answer is no. No. I would never live in Alabama. There's too many other better states to live in. No offense to those in Alabama from there. It's just not for me.
I don't know if I would live there.
There's 49 other states, or the whole world. I wouldn't choose Alabama.
To live an everyday life, I need a little bit more going on just because it was in the middle of nowhere. They did have grits, though.
I already asked you if you would ever live there. Yep, and I said absolutely not. Okay, then I think we're done.
Yeah. And that was Alabama. Beef.
The team had a successful weekend, coming away with both wins. I'm Eleanor Bruce for iPulse.
Your final score, 13, UAH 9.
Our final story. Every now and then we see student work that we want to share. Will Hurley is a Lynn student who has autism and has turned to jiu-jitsu for help. He prepared a documentary on the benefits of jiu-jitsu and provided us with this report.
Many kids worldwide have autism and have challenges that they must deal with daily. The things that they struggle with or have trouble managing could be have trouble focusing on important things such as school. Kids with autism can have difficulty communicating with people, such as not having good eye contact, or have problems with social relationships, such as making friends. And according to the CDC, autism is a disability caused by the brain. Wald Blau's team, Nagira Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in Jupiter, Florida, which helped me the sense that I have autism. Here, we meet a 14-year-old kid named Jax who also has autism and is very passionate about jiu-jitsu. Hello, Jax, how are you doing today?
Good, I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah, what inspired you to do jiu-jitsu and why?
Well, I just came to, I saw one of my school teachers bring their kid to it, and I thought, it might be fun.
Oh yeah, so your school teacher?
Like my school teacher's child going to it, like she was talking about it, so I thought, maybe I could try it out.
Oh yeah, that's a good choice. So, Kelly Everson, a psychologist at Palm Beach Behavior Health and Wellness, works with kids and adults with autism. She is also my psychologist, whom I had for a long time.
My definition of autism is, someone who has a unique brain, a unique set of challenges, and some strengths, and that to me is, most of the time the challenges are the things that we work on in therapy or that a psychologist would work on, and that would be, a lot of times like social difficulties, understanding other people's perspectives, that kind of thing. I think that is a lot of times the main part of autism.
Now push. Straighten the arm, straighten it. Nice, good. Awesome, now you two work together. You pass the perfect. Ready.
What did jiu-jitsu make you better at now than you were before you took jiu-jitsu?
Focusing on stuff. Before, I would be jumping from one thing to another, but ever since I've been doing it, I've been able to focus on one thing at a time.
Yeah, and why is that?
I don't know. Yeah, it's just always been a problem with me, not being able to focus.
Yeah, so can you give examples of what you focus on, what helps you focus with?
Homework, my chores, and lots of other stuff.
That really makes sense.
Just hooking his thigh. You see how it's hooked in? I can't pull it back now because he has it.
And my knee is on his chest.
So you're saying is that martial arts is helpful with other kids, with focus and stuff. And,
Totally,
yeah,
absolutely.
And what is there any more examples that you say might be helpful with kids with autism?
So I think it's things like focus. It's also things like learning to do deep breathing and using coping skills, because a lot of times those are also used in martial arts, right? So I think it's that. The other thing I think it helps teach is kind of like problem solving, basically, right? Is that you're learning a skill, you wait to use it, you're slowing things down a little bit. These are things that we talk about to use when people are upset, right? And so I think that martial arts gives you a healthier way to deal with things, rather than go straight to being upset and angry and violent and any of those things, right? Yeah. Martial arts gives a safer way to deal with things.
Yeah. We now can understand that Jiu-Jitsu not only changes the way kids with autism have fun doing the activity or learn to defend themselves, but also how it helps them to feel calm and solve their problems. Such as Jiu-Jitsu helped me change for the better as a person. Whether you have autism or not, I hope that you can find what is best for you.
That's Will Hurley for iPulse. I'm Jonah Cole, and that's iPulse Live.
And I'm Clifton Haskin. We'll be back 2 weeks from now on March 31st. Have a good weekend.